Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Brian Jester, co-founder here at Occupy Fantasy, and we're back for some more NFL DFS picks and lineup advice for both FanDuel and DraftKings for tonight's single game showdown slate Thursday night football between the Bears and the Buccaneers. In this video, we're going to look at some top plays for both FanDuel and DraftKings low risk and high risk contests, discuss some projected ownership, and just some general high level strategies that you can use in your contest tonight. Before we get started, go ahead and click that subscribe button below to get access to all of our videos as soon as they're released. Give us a thumbs up. The more thumbs ups we get, the more we know that you like these videos and we're willing to create more of them. And then if you have any questions about this slate, just hop in the comments below and we'll answer them before the slate locks tonight. Now, the daily plug will be up later this afternoon, occupyfantasy.com, where I run through every single play and my thoughts and lineup strategies for all contest types. The Occupy model is up and running. Occupyfantasy.com ranks every player, FanDuel, and DraftKings with projected ownership. And be sure to check out our premium podcast with Colin Drew of Daily Roto. Colin is an accomplished showdown player, to say the least. Him and I chop it up every Monday and Thursday to break down the slate. And that's available for Occupy Fantasy and Daily Roto members. So, this game tonight, Tampa Bay a slight favorite, 3.5 points, total of 44.5 points. So a lower total game, small favorite. Generally favors the running backs in most single game scripts. So something to keep in mind here. The big issues tonight are, and I guess you could say issues, but it's also opportunities and edges potentially, are the injuries, especially on the Tampa Bay side. So let's name them. So for Tampa Bay, at the receiver position, Chris Godwin has been ruled out. Justin Watson, let's find him. He's been ruled out. Mike Evans is super questionable. Now, report came out about 15 minutes before we started recording here that there's optimism he'll play, but the issue is he has a high ankle sprain. And if you listen to medical experts, players can play through a high ankle sprain initially in game because of the adrenaline pumping through your body, but then once you stop and get off the ankle, there's swelling, pain 24 to 48 hours afterwards, and that's probably what we've seen with Mike Evans, as he hasn't practiced the entire week, didn't even go through the walkthrough on Wednesday. Now, he did travel with the team. He's going to try to test it out. I lean towards him probably playing, but if he does play, he's likely going to be limited. Now, the one thing here is he's seen a lot of red zone opportunities. He could very easily catch 2 1-yard touchdowns tonight and end up in the optimal lineup on either site. But just know that he's likely limited, and we'll have to keep an eye on it throughout the afternoon to see if he does, in fact, suit up. Again, his teammate Scotty Miller is questionable, but he's expected to play with a hip and groin issue. And then we have some other guys on the team, Tyler Johnson, Cyril Grayson, Jalen Mickens, who are going to step in and be legitimate parts of this offense, especially if Mike Evans is out. And if we look here, so we have Tyler Johnson, 5K. We have Grayson, not even in the player pool. And Mickens, 5K. So some 5K options, even in the event Mike Evans doesn't miss. We saw it on Monday night where Julio Jones was active, started playing, didn't come out after halftime, and our boy OZ came in and it was in the optimal lineup, and he was super cheap. The running back spot for Tampa Bay, Leonard Fournette's out. LaShawn McCoy is out. Kenyon Barner's out. So it literally just leaves Ronald Jones, who had 29 opportunities last week, rushing attempts plus targets, and Keyshawn Vaughn. Again, let's type him in. He's 7K. Jones is super underpriced for his role. He's a legitimate bell cow now with all these guys out, and he's only 10-5 on FanDuel. Super easy to play. He's one of the best plays on the board on FanDuel. Going to get goal line work and going to get a ton of touches tonight. And then, of course, at tight end, O.J. Howard. I don't know, he's still in the player pool. He tore his Achilles. He's out. So Cameron Brate and Rob Gronkowski will be the tight end 1 and 2. More opportunity for cheaper guys. Just crazy injury slate for Tampa Bay. Chicago, not much to talk about. The item to note here is David Montgomery, also just crazy cheap at 11K. With Tariq Cohen now out for the year, he tore his ACL in week 3. David Montgomery played 85% of the snaps in week 4. True bell cow. Him and Ronald Jones are, I don't know why they're priced where they are. So if we're looking for low risk contests, let's pivot a bit here. And if you've read our Showdown guide, our ebook, 15 chapters that goes into detail on how to beat Showdown contests, you can check that out, occupyfantasy.com. Links also in the description below. We talk about trying to get 2 quarterbacks, 2 running backs into low risk contests to try to lock up all the scoring. I mean, and look how easy that is tonight. Brady, Foles, Montgomery, Ronald Jones, $9,500 left per player. Very rarely can we do that in a FanDuel single game slate. Let's clear this. Yep. And let's go to DraftKings. And if we try the same thing, unsurprisingly, they're both cheap here too, 7,800 and 7,400. Now we have 4K left per player. You can easily fit in kickers, defense, role players. It's incredibly easy. So tonight, you want a lot of exposure in your low-risk contest, 50-50s, double-ups, head-to-heads, any contest where half the field or more wins and the payouts are balanced. Now, let's talk about high-risk contests for a second. What are we going to do in our GPPs, our leagues, our satellites, if we're going to try to get a top 1% outcome tonight? We expect a lot of people to be on Tom Brady. He threw 5 touchdowns last week. He's the most expensive player on the slate. And even with some weapons missing, he's going to be popular. With Mike Evans being kind of questionable, no big name running backs to speak of. Allen Robinson, the only true stud player in this game outside of Mike Evans. A lot of the ownership is going to go to Tom Brady. And we expect him to be one of the most popular captain choices. Now, Ronald Jones will probably get some too as a small home favorite here. Or sorry, a small road favorite here, 3.5-point favorites. We expect Ronald Jones to be pretty popular captain as well. Mike Evans, if we get more popular or more positive reports about his availability. And then Allen Robinson will be there too. But guys, we can't overlook here. We can't overlook David Montgomery. People aren't going to play him at captain as an underdog. Just how it works out. Scotty Miller, 10-5 at captain, could easily see the most targets on the slate tonight, at least for Tampa Bay. With Evans banged up, nobody else to speak of in Tampa to catch passes. Scotty Miller easily could lead the team in targets. He had 125 air yards last week. Miller very involved as at least the wide receiver 2, potentially the wide receiver 1 tonight. And then on the Chicago side, people aren't going to play these guys at captain either. Expect 1 to 3% max. But Anthony Miller and Darnell Mooney, 6,900, very nice. Miller, 9,600. I don't know why there's a big difference in the price here. Mooney's been running more snaps, been getting more air yards, more opportunity than Anthony Miller. Outside of week 1, Mooney's been the guy to dominate opportunity as the wide receiver 2 on Chicago. Both these guys are underperforming receivers this week. Go check out our week 5 podcast for the full list. But that means we want to play these guys, especially in our high-risk single game showdown lineups. So lots of interesting items to discuss here. Who do we play at captain? How are the injury situations going to shake out? But again, lots of beneficiaries tonight. Here's just a quick recap. Ronald Jones in a bell cow spot. David Montgomery in a bell cow spot. Keyshawn Vaughn, 1K on DraftKings. He's going to be at least the running back 2 tonight. Ronald Jones has a penchant for fumbling or dropping passes or having miscues. There's a universe tonight where Keyshawn Vaughn is the lead back for Tampa Bay. So let's not forget him at 1K. Both Chicago receivers. The Tampa Bay receivers, Scotty Miller, Tyler Johnson. Let's see what Tyler Johnson looks like here on DraftKings. Yeah, he's literally minimum price. He's $200. And he's at least going to be the wide receiver 3 tonight, potentially wide receiver 2 if Mike Evans is limited or out. So $200. That's crazy. And then, of course, Cameron Brate. He's 3,800. He's in an increased role. Lots of guys who are underpriced into increased roles tonight. So it's really interesting. So for final thoughts, go check out our daily plug, occupyfantasy.com. That'll be up by 4 p.m. Eastern for members only. That'll detail thoughts on every single player on the slate, as well as finalized lineup strategy for FanDuel and DraftKings. And then check out the Occupy model, which will have projected ownership later this afternoon, and rank every player for both sites for the slate. Final reminder to click that subscribe button to get access to these videos whenever they're released for these showdown slates, and then when we do PGA and MMA videos from time to time, and of course our recap videos every Tuesday. And give us a thumbs up if you like it. And any questions you have about the slate, I know there's a lot going on. Go ahead and hop in the comments below, and we'll see how many people watch the end of this video. Guess how many points Tom Brady will score tonight, and whoever's the closest will get a free copy of our Showdown ebook. I'm not going to put it in the comments. I'm just going to see how many people get this far and actually make a guess. It's free to guess, and whoever gets the closest will get a copy of the book. So go do that in the comment section. All right, Brian Jester from Occupy Fantasy. Appreciate you listening. Good luck tonight, and we'll talk to you soon.